recovering emo kids, Amanda and Rob here on the Emo Kids Anonymous podcast. And on today's episode, we are joined by Elliott from Cera Palin, a legend in the scene. This band has been mentioned quite a few times on the podcast by other bands that have been influenced by them. And Elliott, they are quite a gem, and they are probably one of the smartest people we've had on this show. Sadly, I missed some of the conversation because my computer had technical difficulties.
Big Emo was targeting you, but that's okay.
They were mad at me, but Elliott came and they showed us they had no ball and about everything.
Elliott is a true ball. And from the
There's
beginning,
some moving conversation, yeah.
From the beginning, when we're like 8 minutes deep on like Freddie got fingered and stuff, I'm like, this is
making connections to 9/11. You'll just have to watch to figure out where that comes from. But
fascinating, well worth the wait. Obviously, Cera Palin, big band in our general scene, been mentioned a lot on here. I didn't know what to expect. I wasn't sure.
Me too.
Fucking incredible. Huge fan of Elliott.
Very incredible. Inspiring. Yeah, beautiful.
Before you get any of that, though, you'll notice Amanda's in a beautiful crop top there. Garment, high quality. You go over to emokidsanonymous.com. You can get blouses, garments. There's hats. There's even a fucking mug on there now. There's a flag. David Letterman jacket. Hat. Yeah. I got it. I'm wearing a Thoughts on Bowling hat here. Go over. We have a Discord as well. Follow us on the internet. Subscribe to this if you can, please. It would mean a lot.
It would.
And as always, this episode brought to you by Protege. You go over to Protege. You enter Emo Kids at checkout. You get your first tube for only $10. It'll make your face a lot less fucky. It'll fix your face up real nice. After that, you enter Rob40, ROBB40. 40% off. Everything.
That's a deal.
Great deal, right?
It's
a lot of people say I look a lot younger than I should, given lifestyle choices, which is a nice way of saying you should look like shit, but you look pretty average. And that's thanks to Protege. This is Cera Palin.
Indifferential, your appraisal of potential. Glad you found a wise investment. I've been home for like 1 week from my last tour.
Yeah. And how did that go? How did your last tour go?
Oh, it kicked ass.
We got Delta Sleep in combat?
Yeah. Getting to open for Delta Sleep felt very like fortifying. Like their songwriting is just like very hearty. Incredible.
Yeah.
And that wasn't your first tour with Combat either, I don't think, right?
No. They're dear friends. We took them out on a couple different runs. But what started it was when I was playing with Weather Day. Now lead guitar is Sputnik's best friend Clara. But when I was playing lead guitar on Weather Day, we were on tour with Newgrounds Death Rugby.
Okay.
And played at Comet Ping Pong, and Combat opened. And seeing Combat, you don't forget it. You don't forget it. There's so much personality on that stage. You do not forget it.
Wow. So awesome. Cool. Yeah, they were one of our first.
And then backstage, they're able to talk ball all day.
Oh God, yeah. I can only imagine. Holden is incredible. Yeah.
The amount of movies they watch on tour is crazy.
Oh, really? Wait, did you guys get to watch the movies with them?
So there was an off day where we met in a town in Kansas, and I hopped in their van after we ate at Applebee's, Chili's, one of those.
Okay.
And we watched Boogie Nights.
Nice. Old school.
Oh, incredible.
Diggler,
yeah.
Dirk Diggler. I see my name in big neon lights, and it says... Beautiful. Beautiful film.
Was alive for that
incredible.
They came out. Oh,
you got the touch. it really keeps giving.
No,
Also,
it really
Philip
does.
Seymour Hoffman playing a confused gay man.
I know.
I always love
R.I.P.
to see that. I love when a film has Philip Seymour Hoffman being really good at being uncomfortable.
He's really good at that role, yeah.
Oh, miss him.
Yeah.
And then when we crashed at the Combat House before the last show, we watched Freddie Got Fingered.
Classic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really? With Tom Green?
Yeah. It was my first time seeing it. I didn't really know anything about it.
What was your what's your takeaway on
yeah.
Wow, what a film. This is certainly a lot of so I love movies that are like actually bad. Like Freddie Got Fingered, say what you will. No, that was a very thoughtfully put together movie. Like a lot of the shots were like intentional and like parodying like other visual styles too. Like there was a lot of thought put into it because it's his blank check movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like I love how certain people are able to have their way with the medium, and you just kind of have to reckon with this cool thing they made. And boy, he made a pretty cool thing. He's off to work at the cheese sandwich factory. And that's how the movie starts. Incredible.
Were you I don't know your age, Elliot, so excuse me.
I'm 29.
Okay, so when Freddie Got Fingered came out,
you've been like 5, yeah.
You would have been very
4,
young.
3.
Yeah,
to
no,
experience the
I
Tom
was
Green phenomenon.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I didn't know
You
about
met
the Tom
Tom.
Green show. I didn't know about the house getting painted plaid.
And him and Drew Barrymore dating for a while, like all the wild
Drew
stuff.
Barrymore is in Freddie Got Fingered.
Mhm.
That's right.
No, yeah. There was a moment there where Tom Green was literally on top of the fucking world.
And on TRL, they like had to
they
force
changed the
retire
rules
My
on
Bum Is-
TRL because of him, because he did the joke
Yes.
song and it took over first place. And they're like, we can't
Beat
do
out,
this
like,
shit.
the-
We got to run ads for
Yeah.
NSYNC and Backstreet Boys.
Oh,
Like,
man.
let's retire it.
The
He got
first time a
Eminem.
corporation
Silenced.
balked at the power of memes.
Yes, that's right.
Like, honestly, there's a historical link there, maybe.
Okay.
Mhm.
I think this movie was like sort of like a portal to the future in a way, because in the Roger Ebert review, we watched the Roger Ebert review afterwards, and his co-host calls it ground zero for bad comedies 5 months before 9/11.
Oh,
God.
no. Was that Gene Siskel? Was Siskel still alive?
Was it Siskel?
No, it wasn't
It was
Siskel.
the other one. Okay.
Roper? It was some schmuck in
Roper.
2001. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it was
Yeah.
Roper. It was
Okay.
It was Roper. He took over. Yeah.
Might honestly, yeah. There's a direct line there between Freddie Got Fingered and 9/11. I'm happy you brought that to light there, Elliot.
Well,
Thank you.
I
and
think
then
that's
9/11
important to
gives
know.
us My Chemical Romance, and here we are.
So Freddie Got Fingered brings us MCR. Is that what we're saying?
Freddie Got Fingered led to Emo Kids Anonymous, led to all
I
of this
think
sir.
right
Freddie
here,
Got
yeah.
Fingered prophesized MCR.
There we
I think
go.
that's fair.
Because if you think about it, Gerard Way is an illustrator,
He is. Yes, he is an illustrator. That's true.
and the movie is certainly about a man with a dream to be an animator.
An animator, and his brother is too a little bit. Yeah, he did Electric Century, Mikey Way. So yeah.
And he's a
Little bit
songwriter
there.
in the film as well.
Daddy, would you like some sausages?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. He makes a song. He does
There's
make
one,
a
yeah, well,
song.
we don't have the full
He
story.
makes
There
a
could have been
lovely
other writing.
song.
Yeah.
God. It doesn't age as badly as like a lot of other comedies from
Oh.
that era, even though it is still egregious.
Yeah.
Very egregious.
I don't think it's aged that poorly. Like I still had a good time.
Oh, God.
I didn't feel the need to say fuck this guy and fuck this movie.
Yeah.
But boy, was it having its way with my attention.
It was really putting you through the ringer, wasn't it?
Yeah, but also I can respect that.
Yeah.
I can respect art that like wants to make big decisions that
Yes.
like on paper and in practice are destructive.
Yeah.
I think that yields exciting results. I think, art deserves risk.
It does. Now, would you
Beautiful.
say that the art that Michael Cera Palin makes also adheres to the same philosophy?
So I mean, it's definitely not from a place of comedy, but
No, definitely not. No.
uh ironic considering like the humor in the band name, but
Mhm.
You're like, that's the one joke you get.
That's it.
so my thing is I love being in an emo band. And I love that being in an emo band gives me like an aesthetic goal that I can like test the limitations of, like see what else I can like jam into it. And so I would say in that way, yeah, I kind of hope that my art might make someone have to squint a little bit to make it look like something else.
Okay. I like that.
Beautiful.
A little bit of one of those 3D, um, 3D pictures. It's all like, can you see what's coming out at you? I never can, but
Yeah, or like one of those like gallery installations where like if you look at it from one angle it looks like a 2D image, but then
Yeah.
as you walk around it it's just like a bunch of displaced
yeah,
fucking shit.
yeah, that is exactly right.
That's my vibe.
That's your vibe.
There
There
we
we go.
go.
Okay.
What's the most uncomfortable Michael Cera Palin song then to play?
At this point,
Either from a
because
technical
it's tied.
standpoint or like an emotional, like I don't
Just
want to play this, or
emotional
somewhere you're just like,
standpoint.
fuck, I can't do this.
So there is a song off of the new album that like I only play really sparingly just because it's tied to grief. It's tied
Oh,
really
okay.
closely to like familial grief.
Okay.
1038/Do.
Doe.
So that one will bring out more sparingly. I do love playing We Could Be Brave, but it is 12 minutes, so that does kind of ask a commitment.
Andrew
I think
McMahon's
we
done it
earn
with
it.
Constantine, so I think you could do it.
Yeah, it's like a decline or something.
I think we
yeah.
earned the 12 minutes on
Yeah.
that one.
I think you have, yes. Yeah. Given your band's, history and your influence in the scene, I think you guys deserve a 12-minute song on stage.
Well, more that I just think inside that 12-minute song, I don't think we spend much time dicking around.
Oh, okay.
Like we keep it tight.
Like
you
I
get changes.
if I'm going to have a 12-minute song, I'm gonna try to give you 12 minutes of song.
Oh, yeah.
What's
So
up with
help
the
me.
what's up with the obviously 1038 Doe, but there's a lot of like deer imagery across the board here. What's the intention behind
Yeah. So I saw an actual doe. So in the song I say a doe spotted in the parking lot reminds the gentle resilience of the matriarch. And I saw a doe in the parking lot of the hospice when I visited my grandmother on what would be her final day. And I held her hand, I sang for her one more time. And I saw a doe in the parking lot, and I realized that if we're gonna keep our eyes set forward, we have to look for where there is still life.
Yeah.
So the back cover of the album is another art rendering of a photo of my hand in hers. It because boy have I spent in the time between like the second EP and now I've spent a lot of time staring into the abyss, uh, when we reunited it was with big plans for 2020.
Yeah.
And then I thought I had known rock bottom before that.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
You weren't ready for that
Um,
once in a generation or the once in a century fucking
That
pandemic,
happens.
bro.
Yeah, not
and
us.
I didn't get furloughed. I was an essential worker.
Oh,
So I got a hero pay boost of $2 an hour for across one specific 2-week period.
what do you do for
What are
outside?
you
Oh,
doing?
at that time I was working in the print center at Staples.
You were an essential worker? What were you printing?
I was an essential worker because it's an office supply store.
But all the offices were closed.
Yeah, but people now need to build home offices. So they need
Oh,
the stuff, they need the paper, they need the ink, they need the desk furniture.
that's insane.
I didn't know
Was the
Staples was in
justification.
business like that. Yeah, that
Uh,
was the justification.
Wow.
um,
That's a stretch.
really dope, really awesome to have a company telling me they're doing me a favor, in that process, which there's a song about that on the album too. That's what, A Broken Face is about.
Having to work through that.
Yeah, and specifically, like, having a company stare you, like a corporation, like a structure that is inherently always underpaying you, look you in the eye and say that, like, we're doing you a favor by letting you risk your life and risk the lives of your loved ones to not be given social tools being availed for the first time in a long time in any capacity. And then because I was a dependent on my parents' taxes the year before, I didn't get the
You didn't get the
stimulus.
stimulus.
I didn't get the stimulus either. I didn't get Biden bucks. So I genuinely like like being in a punk band. What was even the question? You were asking about the deer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So yeah, life being forward, you got to find your way through the shit, and like if I like the idea of like Michael Cera Palin specifically being a band that like has to look forward and upward, like from no matter how far it's fallen, because like genuinely this is a band that has failed forward, like it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, our audience found us while we were broken up,
I was gonna say, so what led to the breakup originally then? And I mean, obviously the comeback, and then a bit of the COVID thing happens.
So there was a public statement made about this, in ye old 2019, but, basically, we were in a situation where, like, not only there was an accountability process that we were attempting,
Hmm.
but the person we were attempting it with, was, like, also, like, weaponizing the whole thing to, like, emotionally abuse friends of ours, in a sense. So, we had to just, like, put the band to rest, and then once we found out that, like, the accountability that needed to happen was not nearly what we thought it was, and
Hmm.
we knew that there would be no questions left lingering about like our existence and our safety in the space.
Yeah.
We made a public statement. We wish this person no ill will. Uh, this is a person with like kids and shit. Like
Hmm.
we got bigger fish to fry. Um, but yeah, something we have had to move forward from, have to find a path forward from, have to find where there is life, even where there is loss, whether it's a band, whether it's a family member, whether it's your time. Uh, so yeah, a lot of We Could Be Brave is, yeah, just sort of about that. Uh, finding, like, finding your resilience to move forward. Is she coming back?
Yeah, she has some technical difficulties, I think. Sorry about
Okay, cool.
that.
I'm amazed mine hasn't dropped. I use Firefox, so I'm
Ooh,
currently on Microsoft Edge.
damn. I didn't even know about Microsoft Edge. That's pretty cool.
Well, I mean that's just what they give you instead of Internet Explorer now.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. No, no, yeah, yeah.
Shout
Trying to
out
cope.
Internet Explorer.
Shout out Internet Explorer,
A day
still going
one.
strong. Yeah, literally almost a day one, I think. Um, so obviously, okay. Since being back, though, I mean, you released your record last year, and I mean, I'm not like I haven't done
Yeah.
like the math on this, but I would have to say that of bands, current emo bands, you might be the heaviest touring band in terms of like locations and like You were just in Japan and the Philippines and Asia or in
Yeah.
Australia, and you're in Europe in like a couple weeks.
Yeah. A lot of that was us just like this throwing Hail Marys, kind of. So we were in 2021 asked to play a festival in 2022 called Washed Out,
Mhm.
which no longer exists. It's in the It was in the UK in Brighton, I believe.
Okay.
And oh my God, every time I look back at that lineup, I would die to have seen that lineup. There are especially like a lot of the like local bands that were on that, like who were about to put out like incredible fucking records, like Shoutout Dits, Shoutout I Told You I Would Eat You. Anyways, we were asked to play the festival. We said sure. COVID numbers spiked. Festival's canceled. But before it got canceled, I hit up the band I Told You I Would Eat You.
Mhm.
And I said, hey, we're a fellow vocally queer and thematically queer and like flirting with mathy emo band. I feel like us on a bill together would just make too much sense. Should we do a run together? And they were like, oh, well, we're already planning to do it with Awake But Still in Bed, who was also supposed to be on Washed Out. They ended up still doing a tour over in the UK. And then I Told You I Would Eat You signs on with this guy, Joe Booley, who's just like a fully independent guy, just like doing the shit because like he knows how to get shit done.
Okay.
And he's looking at their old emails and he saw we reached out and he was like, hey, you want me to just book you? Do you want me to just like, we'll post and see where we can get you in, and we can also try to get you like a week or two in Europe. I figure the more shows, the more likely we can pad out the cost. And we were like, fuck it. Yeah, if we can borrow instruments and like, yeah, let's give it a shot. And so, February 2024, we did a month. And so like within like a month or two of us agreeing to work with Joe, he signs on to an agency called Atonal. So we were suddenly like on an agency that are like the shit doers for like people who need reliable shit doers. And so he was like, cool, I have like 10 times the address book now. Though he had also gotten a lot of DIY contacts when we posted that we were starting to look at booking over there. A lot of DIY spaces over there apparently had eyes on us. Again, no active courting of ours. I feel so fortunate through all of this. That tour kicks ass. Even though like none of us were prepared to do that tour, and we were like dying.
And you
And
did the
then
whole tour with borrowed gear?
Yeah. Or no, John had to buy a bass and a bass head when we got there. I flew over with my pedals. And we bought a snare and cymbals, and we borrowed drum kits at every show. I have a head. I have just like a small quilter head that I travel with. It's my main amp.
Okay.
At least for touring, like as long as like this is like where I need to make sure the shit gets reliably done. Yeah, just having something that compact, but like also the guy from Converge uses a quilter, so like I'll be fine.
Yeah, it works for him. It works for me.
Certainly. If he's not worried about the bark he can get out of it, I'm certain I can get some bark out of it. And lo and behold. So I pretty much had to borrow cabs, and unless someone just had a combo they could offer, there were a couple times I was using like a different amp every night, which is cool, which is fun. I was having fun.
That's an interesting unknown variable to throw into it, especially like as the lone guitarist up there too.
Yeah. But God, I love being in a 3-piece. I'm now in two 3-pieces.
All the best emo bands right now are three. I interviewed Manor Gates yesterday. I don't. Do you remember Manor Gates? They had a story
We've played
with you.
them.
Yeah. I asked. I was like, "Yo, we have Michael Cera Palin tomorrow." I was like, "Can you give me like, like what are they like, kind of thing?" And they're like, "We felt so bad." Like, basically a story like, yeah, Elliott came up to us and we didn't recognize them at that moment or something like that. We were just like,
you
so
never
shocked.
know if I'm gonna have hair. That's the fun part with me.
They're like, yeah, we weren't ready for the energy. Like we were shocked and we feel bad. Like tell them like I was like, it's like interesting. I was
That's
like,
really funny because I remember them being like plenty lovely to talk to, and I loved their set.
They're such
out.
Midwest sweethearts. They probably thought they were weird or awkward, and they were absolutely loving.
Okay, but like, we're in the music scene. Like, who cares about awkward?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not here because I'm not a nerd, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm here because I owned some Doghouse Records sampler CDs. I'm here because I found a 2004 Warped Tour compilation at my local Goodwill in 2011.
Wow, 2004. Yep.
And so that introduced
with Tim Armstrong on the
skate punk.
cover?
No. Hold on, I can grab this real quick. It's right across.
I thought it was Tim jumping. That might be 03.
Where are you? There you are. All right, let's see who this is on the cover.
Incredible. That's Tim Armstrong.
Okay, shit.
Yeah. Wild.
But yeah, so like being a scene kid and having skate punk added to like my lexicon, but also like Thursdays on here. Like there were bands I already liked, like Flogging Molly, because I heard them on hard rock radio, but then like Piebald's on here. From Autumn to Ashes. Fear Before the March of Flames is on here. So from First to Last. So like
there's if I'm not mistaken, there's the demo version of Decade Under the Influence by Taking Back Sunday on there. Like it has a different mix. Like in the bridge of it,
right.
The bells, like in like the production, like shit added in, is like a little louder in the mix. I remember like, yeah, it kind of wigged me out as a kid. Chronic Future, I think, is on Hazen Street. Yeah.
Banger. And also on that same Goodwill visit, I bought Doolittle by the Pixies. Because I had read Kurt Cobain's journals and saw that album list, and I was like, oh, I should probably get into Pixies. And yeah, Doolittle's one of in my top 20 albums forever.
What a pivotal moment in your life, like this at this one Goodwill, these two records, like
it was a new Goodwill. It was a new Goodwill that had just opened up right next to my high school.
And this was, you grew up in Georgia?
Marietta, Georgia.
Marietta, Georgia. Wow.
Just north of Atlanta. We had our own venue. Like I would love to see the booking emails I sent in back then. But we had a venue and you could write any quality of email and get a show there. And so I went to a performing arts high school my freshman year. But I knew I was getting like streamlined for like theater shit, and I knew I wanted to be in a band. I knew I wanted to try that. So I made the career choice at 14 to go to my local high school instead. Which is fucked up, right? Like,
so you left, you're at like a performing arts school, but you're
yeah,
more
like that I had to audition into.
And you're like, I gotta go slum it at the public
well,
school.
also, admittedly, the academics there were really under-resourced. Like,
okay,
there was there was also resource allocation issues going on here. So like, it did also just make sense for if I wanted to learn more shit, because it took us like 9 months to get through To Kill a Mockingbird, dude. It took us like both semesters, dude.
Wow.
Like, that shouldn't happen.
It's like one of the performing arts school that my right wing dad would think is what they all are. They're not even teaching the kids there. They're just dancing and stuff. And it's like, that's not true, Dad. You're like, okay, well, for this one school, it might have been.
Well, but the thing is, like, 50% of the school are the kids that are just, like, districted for there, and, like, this is just their high school. They aren't doing the performing arts shit. They just have shittier teachers.
Oh, damn.
Right?
Okay.
So, like, there are things to be said. That said, you know, Lil Yachty went to that high school. He turned out great.
Shout out Lil Yachty, yeah.
Shout out Lil Yachty. I never met him. I'm certain he's great. I'm certain he's lovely.
Lil Boat, you hear that? I know you're a big listener, Yachty.
Shout out Boat.
Shout out Boat. What is your, Southeast, the Midwest gets all the credit for the emo. Realistically, most of the good emo bands are also Northeast as well. But like Southeast, I mean, not just Georgia, but Florida, Alabama as well. A lot of great bands.
So we've got Florida, number one, but also we've got Atlanta. Like I was like getting into things like when Microwave put out Stovall. Like, and they were still playing like community art center basements.
So you had like your local is like a realistic band that you like that looks attainable to you.
Oh,
is fucking
also
Microwave.
Free Throw. I saw Free Throw like a dozen fucking times, like
Southern.
before they were like playing even 500 caps. Like I booked Free Throw in 2014 at a DIY space after seeing them a month prior at Swayze's in Marietta. So like I kind of showed up right as like the emo revival was being like confirmed by the blogosphere.
Mm-hmm.
And then like resources were starting to kind of come into the mix, and like people were like starting to have agents if they wanted that.
What is happening?
I was just talking about like sort of how like the cresting of the emo revival wave looked, because obviously it reaches a certain height that like the next wave is in reaction, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think, wave 2 is in reaction to wanting more emo sensibility that wasn't present in wave 1. Wave 3 is a reaction to those bands starting to like have visibility, and it's starting to conform to like industry structures, right? Then wave 4 is a reaction to not wanting the industry structures. And because of that, you had a lot of people cutting back to basics and making some really fucking incredible records. And then wave 5, in my opinion, in my controversial opinion, I've been getting into arguments about this. Andy from Worst Party Ever is not having this opinion of mine. But I believe that fifth wave is a reaction to the ubiquity of 2 bands, Title Fight, Modern Baseball. You could track everyone back to that, in my opinion, as far as like who was really kicking off fifth wave. Like there were a couple bands like more inspired by Joyce Manor, though I personally don't call Joyce Manor emo.
I didn't either until I was informed. The website says they are, is this bandemo.com.
I disagree.
But I'm like,
the guitars aren't arpeggiated.
No, it's
like, I think emo is arpeggiated guitars and introspective lyrics, typically with melodramatic vocals, but not necessarily. Everything else is interchangeable. You can add horns, you can have a bass, you can not have a bass. You can have drums, you can program chiptune beats. But the guitars aren't arpeggiated in Joyce Manor. That doesn't make them not a good band. They don't have to be emo.
I'm with you, and I feel like I've been like bowing down to the mob lately, where it's like all right, it's emo adjacent, but
it's okay for it to
I
just be
saw them as-
introspective pop punk.
It's good. Yeah, it's good. Like pop punk became not all pop punk is fucking silly and stupid. Like they're a great band that they're from the same place the Descendants are from, and Oscar. Like there are elements of that and like little bits of Weezer. They're too Weezer to be emo in a like musical tightness, pop rock, power pop sense.
In a power pop sense,
Yeah,
sure. Yes.
That's, like I'm thinking about it. We've interviewed legitimately over 100, probably close to 100 fifth wave emo bands, and I don't have an argument against that at all. Like I think those are the two main ones brought up.
I have a lot of people telling me that fifth wave started not with like Gami, MCP, and Mom Jeans and Remo Drive, but rather with like Your Arms Are My Cocoon, Weather Day, and everything that came with the advent of the pandemic. I would argue that this is a sidebar for post-emo. And I think we're starting to see the sixth wave with a return to traditional like purism with like First Day Back in February and the more like emo core contingent that's happening right now.
This is incredible.
I have theories, dog.
Elliott,
I'm here to talk ball. I'm here to talk emo.
I love this. Yeah. So you think you'd say like First Day Back is kind of like this that where it's going, because I'd say a lot of fifth wave is still very
I'd
rooted
say
in
First
fourth.
Day Back. I'd say like the prototype for this was like, well, I guess a lot of this is starting with like the Zoomer taking of the Scrams mantle. Like this is the first time in history there's ever been a Scrams band on Coachella. Like Versus Self and February being on Coachella, which by the way, I can't find the February set saved anywhere, and that blows my mind. There are a couple pictures taken from the crowd. It doesn't look like anyone saved the live stream, which is bonkers. So if anyone has the February Coachella set, please get at me. But also shout out Your Arms Are My Cocoon. I love all my Screamo experimentalists.
Amanda, you made it.
Oh my gosh, I can't even.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can't even. I'm so afraid it's going to do it again. So I apologize if it does.
We missed you.
I missed you too, Elliott.
Yeah, Elliott pauses and they're like, is she coming back?
I was like in the middle of a story and I was like, we should really check in on you.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Good.
No, it's my, I don't know. I just went and bought a new computer and new docking station off of Amazon as I was trying to fix this problem. So there we go.
You're good.
Your docking station?
Yes. So I have my
Happy Pride.
Yeah, Happy Pride.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, I love it. Okay, what were we talking about? Where could
we were nerding the fuck out on the waves of emo.
Okay.
I was getting kind of tinfoil hat about the waves.
Oh, okay.
Because like first wave, obviously, just like advent of, well, first of all, just like the invention of post-hardcore is where emo starts. But then like wave 2 is because they don't see any of the indie sensibilities in wave 1. Wave 3 is because wave 2 got so big that it became an aesthetic goal that made sense. For like it was like a very expedient, and like because it was as these bands were coming up, like Jimmy Eat World, or like Sensefield, also in Sunny Day Real Estate was like on Sub Pop, and so that wave 3 is a response to ubiquity. Wave 4 is a response to not seeing themselves in the previous wave and wanting to get back to DIY ethos. Wave 5 is a response to the ubiquity of the people that rose up from that. I would argue modern baseball and title fight.
Yes.
I would say you can track a lot back to that. I think. Oh, and also sorority noise. I think Jank was a response to like, because Jank was also like part of, like,
yeah,
felt like it was a shift into emo that wasn't the revival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like them and Mom Jeans and Gami and Remo Drive.
Yeah.
And I would say us as well, and Worst Party Ever. Jail Socks. Commander Salamander.
Because I'd say, 5 starts right around then, like 17, 18 in
Pretty
my
much
head.
about, yeah.
18.
That's
right?
what I'm saying, you
Yeah.
know? Like, I think the bands were, like, forming in 2015, but had something really to say in, like, 2017,
Yes,
2018.
exactly.
And Remo Drive got a head start because they and Mom Jean started in 2014 and made their big splashes in 2016. So anyways, I'm saying that right now I think we're starting to see the Scrams contingent turn into the 6th wave, where we go back to like a very stripped, brittle, nude, like post-hardcore.
Yes.
With bands like First Day Back in February.
We're going to like 1994.
All
And
over
Versus
again.
Self, and I would say also like Catalyst for sure.
Yeah.
Shout out Catalyst. Those cats are crazy.
If you had to pick, so if we're doing for 4th, it's Title Fight and Mobo.
Yeah, those are the ones that like were like the immediate like touchstone into like the thing that is more underground than
Oh, yeah.
like A Day to Remember or Pierce the Veil.
That was the gateway beyond that was like, oh, I found this
where you're
cooler
starting
thing.
to like, that is when you step into the world where you are like seeing the bands and seeing like bands on like in the support slots too that are still playing the like 100 caps.
Yeah, still doing their basement shows, still doing the smaller venues.
Yeah, when I saw Title Fight, Slingshot Dakota opened.
Wow.
It was Slingshot Dakota, Cruel Hand, Balance and Composure, Title Fight.
Wow. Well, I mean, and it's not surprising. A lot of the bands that we've had on here, obviously, more like 5th wave, late 4th wave emo, a lot of them speak to modern baseball and Title Fight as influences of theirs. Yeah.
And so I was talking recently, we crashed with Keith from Empire on this last tour, and I was like, yo, so like when the 4th wave was getting started, like I know that like there were screamo bands in their own little pockets everywhere. And I know that Algernon had a band called Halfway to Holland, and Snowing had a band called Street Smart Cyclist, and you had started Empire. Was this a scene? And he said, not till like 08, 09.
Yeah.
Yeah. They, do you know Andrew Soccer?
Yes, name rings a bell.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Vegan,
He just wrote a book about emo revival about this era, and it comes out in September, but like we like read it, he sent us one before we interviewed him, and that's very much how it starts, where it's like, okay, these guys are, it's the same thing where it's like Joe from Algernon, and it's like these guys are in these bands, and they're all kind of in separate bands, and then like it kind of starts moving together, and it looks like basically like 08, 09, like where it's like it's kind of the ashes of other bands, and like, well, we don't want to be pop punk or that emo, and they end up here.
Right. And then also like Evan Weiss had The Progress before he had Into It Over
That's
It,
right.
you know? So like
teenager, yeah.
Like all of these, and like all the world is people were in their own smaller things. I think one was called I Wish I Didn't Exist Right Now.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the precursor bands, but yeah, the emo revival, as would be heralded by the almighty blogosphere.
Yes.
Which that's my favorite that's my favorite like Manchurian candidate trigger for millennials, is to say blogosphere.
Yeah.
It triggers.
It works,
We can't help it. Yeah.
I showed up right as that was starting to die down, but we still had some great Blogspot pages.
Oh,
Shout out those Blogspot pages.
Thank God, yeah.
Sophie's Floorboard is a holy text.
People were trying to make careers out of those blog spots. Now, Elliott,
Well, Sophie's Floorboard was just like Mediafire links
Yeah.
of bands' entire discographies.
Sick.
That's how I heard Algernon for the first time, and it's how I heard Fugazi for the
That's
first time. When
crazy.
I ended up on there, I cried.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
cried and I tweeted at them thanking them.
That's insane. Now,
I hope everyone downloads my music for free.
when you started, Elliot, did you think to yourself, we're an emo band. Like, this is an emo band. Like, we are part, like,
Yeah.
you knew, like, in it that you were part of this thing.
So I wanted to see more emo in Atlanta. I was
That makes
specifically trying to make emo shows happen in Atlanta in 2014, like a year before the band started.
Yeah.
And I wasn't in a band yet. And then my bassist, who had graduated from my high school the year before me, said, "Hey, I know you're really you're like always playing like acoustic emo stuff
Yeah.
solo at these shows. Do you want to try making an emo band, but like one that like writes really cool punk
Yeah.
with like really good
Yeah.
melodies?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely."
Absolutely, I do.
And so we dove in, inspired by like Glocka and Snowing,
Beautiful.
but also like Jeff Rosenstock, like
Mhm.
Antarctigo Vespucci. It was an Antarctigo Vespucci track that John sent me when he asked me to start the band.
That's
It's
all you
funny
needed.
because I feel like you're like as much like quote unquote Midwest emo, that traditional
we
emo
are.
sense. Which
Yeah.
exactly there's just as much what I was gonna call like against me, but it's Jeff Rosenstock because you're
Yeah.
you're 7 years younger than me, so it's like Jeff
Yeah.
Rosenstock would have been your Laura Jane.
God,
Like it
hold
has
on.
that folk punk feel at times on tracks, where it's like you're a punk band sometimes.
Okay, also Hard Girls Summer Vacation was big for us. 2 Nights You Blew It, Pet Symmetry. The Front Bottoms was my favorite band for a while. So, in 2013 I went to see, do either of y'all, this isn't an emo band, Anamanaguchi?
I've reached out to them to try to get them on the show. Yeah, they just came
are
back
a
last year,
chiptune
right?
band. They
Or
did
just released something.
yes.
Yeah.
They just their most recent album. The cover is the American Football House.
Mhm.
But I went to see them in 2013, and I told this guy I had met that my 3 favorite bands were Touche Amore, Circle Takes a Square, and the Front Bottoms, and he was like, "Oh, do you know about the Fest?" And I was 16. I hadn't heard of the Fest. And he was like, "Oh, I saw all of your favorite bands there last year. And it's just like a really big punk dance party. And a lot of bands come through Atlanta for that. It's going to be in October. You should keep an eye out." I work at a space called Under the Couch, which was a DIY space on campus at Georgia Tech.
Oh, wow.
So it was, as a minor, like an easier sell for like if my parents had to pick me up
You're like, it's in Georgia Tech.
versus
Yeah.
the house.
Yeah.
Though they still also drove me across state lines to go to a house show in South Carolina. Like my parents loved that I.
Awesome.
Okay, so to get really personal for a sec, there was this point in high school where my mom went to our rabbi, and she said, "Hey, you've talked about your struggles with mental health. I am struggling to feel secure in my child wanting to be alive. How do I know my child wants to be alive?" And he said, "Well, are they collecting things or giving them away?" And she said, "They collect records." And so she always took me to record stores, and they were, even in spite of being grounded, they would just put a stricter show curfew on me for like very specific shows. And like I had to prove I had my schoolwork done and shit. And I was grounded all the time because, oh boy, was I too mentally ill to keep up with homework. School's not how I learn, and that is fine.
Yeah.
I've read so much more than I ever did while I was in school trying to avoid reading, because it was a source of anxiety,
Oh, yeah. And you don't get to read what you
It's
want
not
to
for
read
everyone.
either, and you don't get the choices, and yeah.
That
Yeah,
might be
which
the
don't get
most
me wrong, like
beautiful
now that
story
I'm
told on
like
our
in
show.
my bag, I'm like pirating textbooks.
Good for you. I avoid them now.
I'm pirating
I avoid
textbooks.
them.
Yeah.
Because like I'm also really into like experimental composition.
Oh, okay.
And that is something I am wanting to explore more on my own
Like
time.
prose?
I
Experimental, like prose form or? Oh,
no,
okay.
like
Music.
atonal shit,
Okay, okay,
like
okay,
atonal theory.
okay. Music composition.
It just people being absolute shysters with form
Yeah.
in music
Okay, that's what you mean.
is my shit. Uh it was there was one night where a furry pen pal of mine in high school sent me Mr. Bungle, which was the pre-Faith No More
Mike
fuck ass
Patton?
band,
Yeah.
and Suicide, the like minimal like synth punk band. And that absolutely warped me. I was like, oh, music can be anything. Oh. And so because of that, like I think the like dimension of performance is also like a really like fruitful opportunity.
Yeah.
I love our live shows, and from what I hear, other people love our live shows too. As long as I don't say anything anyone disagrees with too much, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel like the Michael Cera Palin audience knows where they are.
Yes.
Um
And who they're
Yeah.
watching. Yeah.
yeah, that story with your mom is
Yeah,
maybe
but
the most beautiful thing
I
I've
like
ever
to say it
witnessed.
out loud too, though.
Oh,
You
I
know,
agree.
like I remember at that like out of state house show, there was a band called the Cherry Ices, and the front woman just like acknowledged the fact that she was trans,
Yeah.
and like that alone was like, oh my god, I am present in this space. Holy shit. And I also got some really important zines that night for like forming me as a feminist
Okay.
as well. So yeah, I've always really, and also being gay, so much of the early queercore shit was like based around like a bunch of weirdos who were reading Marx and being like, yes, making a spectacle, well, no, post-Marxist shit, and being like, oh yeah, making a spectacle is how you shift public consciousness. It's the medium for, like, it is the proper medium for propaganda. I'm going to be as loudly gay as humanly possible. And understanding that you can kind of make any performance that, because that venue in Marietta was just like, anyone would play, they would book anyone to a fault. To a fault. I miss having a day where booking could be that purely anarchist in not needing to vet anyone, but I also don't totally miss it.
Okay.
But yeah, because of that, I would just hop on shows. Like if there was a band I found on Bandcamp that was just going to be coming through Swayze's, that I found on the emo tag, I would just write them and ask to hop on the bill doing an acoustic set. And I would kind of act like a fucking like lunatic with this acoustic guitar. I was like beating the shit out of it. I was stripping down to my underwear.
Oh,
I was
wow.
yelling at people. Like, and every time they said I couldn't take my eyes off you.
Yeah.
Like, I think live shows are a very special place. There's like the thing about like play space being unique because of the imaginary circle, where inside of it the rules actually like matter for why you're inside the circle. Whereas like if I say go fish at the wrong time, like that's not a load bearing pillar on society. But like in these walls, my words can affect something.
Yeah.
And what I speak into existence with that is of my own choosing. I love that.
Yeah.
I am a bit more of a radical lover of that than some, and that is fine. You know, I think about the dude that drove like a bulldozer through it wasn't a bulldozer, but it was like a crane or something. No, I think it was a bulldozer. Yeah, through a venue. He was just like this noise artist in Japan in the 80s, and it's like the bulldozer gig. There's no video, but oh boy, are there photos, and there are a bunch of other videos of him just like absolutely raising hell and making the space just genuinely like a risk to be in. But oh my God, isn't it beautiful that humanity has the person willing to do this?
Yeah.
You can argue that it's useless, and I won't tell you it has to be worth anything to you, honestly. And that's the other thing. I'm okay with being free to put myself out there as myself. And so, God damn it, I'm gonna keep touring.
And that's a beautiful thing.
You're talking about maintaining attention and uncomfortability inside of art. It all ties back to Freddie Got Fingered almost still.
This all ties back to Freddie Got
It's
Fingered.
all full circle. I mean, let's see.
There's like beautiful like a tie-in where it's like it's the same kind of like rawness from the art. Like
yes.
So I saved. I put a letterboxd review on my favorite bad movie, which is Fateful Findings. It's incredible. And I said, this is just like The Holy Mountain in that we are watching it because it was filmed. And that's the thing. If you just will art into existence, it exists forever.
It's like The Room.
It's like The Room. It's like Freddie Got Fingered. It's like Captain Beefheart. It's like Michael Cera Palin.
Yeah.
It's like Citizen Kane. It's like anything.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been saying for a while, Michael Cera Palin is the Citizen Kane of emo.
Yeah.
I'm happy that you could help me tie that in.
Oh, thank heavens.
He's been hoping for that.
I haven't seen it.
He's been hoping for that.
I haven't either. I just know it's a big deal.
I should have said Boogie Nights.
Yeah. The Boogie Nights of emo. That works. Yeah, Michael Cera Palin is the Boogie Nights.
We're the Boogie Nights of emo
yeah,
for sure.
Speaking of great media and the like from the mid to late 90s, what's your relationship with the Sheryl Crow cover today?
So we did the Sheryl Crow cover. So I had heard other covers of this song before we did it. I had heard the Screaming Females cover and the Fiddler cover, which especially kind of gave me the freedom because they posted it as a joke, it seems, but like the chorus is like just like a full like synth blast, like blown out distortion, and he's just like screaming his head off, right? And so there was one night John and I were hanging out in the basement, and I just started playing this riff, and then I sang If It Makes You Happy, and he was like, that's funny. And then we did it at shows, and then it's track 3 on the EP because I thought of it as an interlude.
Oh. Beautiful.
And then it's like, okay, but now we're back to Michael Cera Palin. But now, like, there is a lot of meaning in the fact that, like, you know, the pronouns aren't changed in the lyrics. And, like, the gender references aren't changed in the lyrics. And, like, having the frame of reference where that's part of what I bring into it, because I was already out as non-binary by that point. And so I can absolutely understand, again, just like queer expression finding its way to you, that innately having meaning for queer people. So number one, I can fully appreciate that dimension of this. And number two, a lot of people have had cool mom moments. They're out with their mom, and the original comes on in public, and they're like, wait, I know this chorus. This is a Michael Cera Palin song. And their mom goes, no, and gets to have a cool mom moment. Because of that, moms love us.
That's beautiful. She is cigarette mom rock. I'll give you that.
My mom, when I was a kid, I swear the only cassette she had in her fucking Green Thunderbird was that Sheryl Crow record. Starts out with Maybe Angels, Redemption Day on it.
Maybe Angels is a fucking banger.
When my little brother was a kid, I have all these memories, like every road trip, like everything in my life in this era, I soundtrack with Sheryl Crow. And my brother would sing, he was like 3 or 4. Baby Angels is how he'd sing it. And like, it's
That's
just
cute.
So when I first heard your version of it, you fucked up my day.
Yeah.
Like, I was like even today, like I tossed it back on. I was like, we should talk about it. It's a
Yeah.
bigger song. Like I want to know how you feel about it now. And I was just like,
yeah, well,
all right, we're not
also
doing
it's
this.
a really well written
It
song.
is, yeah.
Like it's a good song.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a song on my release that I don't think is a good
Yeah.
song.
It's not like
kinda-
it was a throwaway single gimmicky marketing thing
No.
you did. It's on
It
the
wasn't
EP,
the
like you
single.
said.
Portrait
it's,
was the single.
Yeah.
You saw it as this interlude on this. Yeah, it's an experience.
But worked out really well, and again, like this track and all the other tracks that have found their way to people found its way to them for a large, like, we went from like 10,000 monthly listeners when we broke up, no, maybe like 5,000 to like 70,000 when we got back together in 2019.
What happened?
That's the thing. We weren't actively promoting it. We are fortunate. We are very fortunate. We were getting thrown into like sorority noise radio and like foxing radio and shit.
Yeah.
And hotelier radio and like, I'm thankful. I'm thankful. Right place, right time. The fact that we came back, weren't able to tour. I fell into such a depressive hole that I couldn't even post.
Wow.
We decide to instead write an album. And then when we finally tour, people still give a shit. We tour for long enough that I feel like we're still getting the album out to people.
Yeah.
On the same scale that like the other stuff is out to people, which makes sense. But I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here. I think right now there's like a lot of really exciting shit going on.
Yeah,
With MCP or in general?
you're a fellow emo nerd in the same way. What's your take on the state of emo right now? Because I find it I think the last like year and a half, 2 years has been very special with releases.
And
I would agree. So I would say I'm big on Aren't We Amphibians?
Yes.
I'm big on M-Way.
Yeah.
Ginger Bee, R.I.P. R.I.P. Guitar Fight. Hecker just put out a new thing. Shout out. Kerosene Heights have like some of the like better like melody writing in the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like their capacity, their understanding of how a hook should feel, is really special. Swiss Army Wife. Stomach Book, Ogbert the Nerd.
Madison James, Ogbert is. I know you did a run with him last year. Madison, I had Madison one day. Yeah, Amanda wasn't here, and it was just me and Madison, and we went like 2.5 hours. I swear to God, just like.
Yes, you did. I was looking at this and I was like, and then one episode. Oh, that's my friend, but that's a lot of my friend.
Wow.
Yeah, I was just like, this is Madison. That's my type of motherfucker. Like, okay.
But I also like that, right now we have people, in addition to doing the more traditional thing, like, also veering outside of it. Like, again, Ginger Bee, Weather Day, Home Is Where, even though I would say they are no longer an emo band, though I still feel they're, like, they're still that early Modest Mouse thing, where it's like, no, this is pretty emo.
Yeah.
Like, I struggle to call it emo, but it's not emo.
Yeah, you're like, it's on the cusp. It's adjacent enough.
Oh, God, adjacent. Everything's
adjacent these days.
Everything's adjacant because we're all stuck next to each other.
That's true. I mean, it's the lines are so blurred when it comes to the genres these days. It's
my way of not getting actually to fucking death in the comments.
Yes, it is true.
Sure.
People say it all the time.
I'm just willing to say that bands aren't emo. And I'm willing to say bands are emo.
Yeah.
I have a Rate Your Music account if someone wants to disagree with me.
There we go.
I know that's where disagreements belong.
That is, yes, that's exactly
Beautiful.
what it is.
Also, I will also say the last Algernon record was really good. And like, we're like in a place where like kids are getting back to the emo core basics. There's a project out of Toronto called Bit Depth that I love. It's a furry project.
Fantastic.
Hell yeah.
The last album was called
furry band?
Herdbound. Furry band. Well, okay, furry fronted, but also like the last album was about being a gay deer and it's time to hibernate, and there's another boy deer you really like that you want to hibernate with, like a gay ass, furry ass, incredibly written
Beautiful.
emo album.
Incredible.
Played with them in Toronto. I sang a song with them. Like Bit Depth. Bit Depth's incredible. California Cousins, Camping in Alaska. I fuck with. Floral Tattoo out of Seattle, I think, is underrated. Way more like reverby, but also like it's like a 7-member band.
Yeah.
So it's just like a really boisterous, joyous, but also like very contemplative thing that they have going. Hey, I Love You, sick. When I was in Japan, I saw this noise screamo band called Moreru.
You're gonna have to spell that one.
Moreru. Moreru.
Sick.
And Transcendent.
Wow.
So yeah, I think right now, like writ large, we're in the most exciting time for music.
Yeah.
Like people that are hunkering down with their songs are getting fantastic results. Oh, Saoirse Dream, Saoirse Dream out of Portland. Love her, and I love her music. Released an incredible album a year or two ago.
Okay.
When was that?
Plays
2025, early
she's in LA
2025.
and she's in town in 2 days.
Yeah, I guess Rob knows what he's
Check
doing.
out Saoirse Dream.
That's Rob's go to do that.
I already mentioned Swiss Army Wife. Skimp out of Texas. And Weather Day, I think, is the best, is my favorite emo band.
Weather Day,
yeah. And, well, I guess my stipulation with all of my favorite bands is, like, it's typically because they're mixing enough ingredients from other things that, like, they're never strictly the one thing.
Yeah.
Like, they're my favorite emo band the same way, like, MS Paint is my favorite punk band right now.
It just feels
MS
void.
Paint.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You're just filling that spot for the moment, and,
Yeah.
and each one's giving a different flavor. Sometimes you want pistachio.
Yeah,
Sometimes you want
where I
Rocky
feel
Road.
like, okay, this is like a well-rounded diet. I could like, there's so many different flavors with this band that are still all presented so
Yeah.
cleanly and well assembled, intentionally assembled. I think intention is good. Intention is great, and a boldness and certainty of intention is cool.
Yeah. Be unapologetic.
Awesome. You've done a lot of fests, obviously. Excellency,
Yeah.
Jorts Fest, Fochella, Burnbright Fest, the Fest.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite one to play, and what's the worst
The Fest.
experience?
The Fest.
Sick. I'm so bummed y'all aren't on
I
this
know.
lineup.
We
We're
get to
doing
go.
media
We're
this
not on
year. I'm
this
so
year.
excited, and you're not on there.
We always book a tour around
Oh.
it, and then like I miss Atlanta Pride. This is my first time in Atlanta
Oh,
Pride
that's
in like 3
exciting,
years,
though.
so I'm stoked for
Yeah.
that. But also, I do love Fest. Fest is like my favorite vibe on earth.
Is it?
It's like such a perfect mixing of like the old guard and the new school.
Yeah.
Like all like coexisting and bolstering one another
Yeah.
and encouraging one another in like ways that brings the youth out of the old guard and like fortifies the ethos of the new school.
I love that.
I think Fest is really special. I'm very lucky that I got into promoting shows because bands would come through on their way down to Fest.
Yeah.
And there was one show I booked that was Prince Daddy, Just Friends, Safe Face, and Oso Oso,
Wow.
and like 3 other bands.
7-band bill
That's
with P
so,
Daddy
yeah,
and
with
Oso on
that's
it.
beautiful.
7-band bill, 2016, $5 if you wore a costume.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't think that could probably still happen today.
Atlanta was a magical place at the
It
time.
really was.
Marietta.
Who knew?
Yeah. Speaking of Atlanta, Marietta, are you familiar with the Atlanta band We Hate Rowan? Have you heard
I'm
of?
familiar.
Yeah.
Okay. They're big fans. I'd be remiss if I didn't at least bring them
No,
up.
I've met them. I've met some of them
You've met
on some
Rowan, yeah.
occasions.
Did you? Yeah. Pretty hateful.
They are good. I mostly listen to noise at this point. I'm kind of a menace on the aux. And by Lord, they are pleasant to listen to.
Beautiful.
But yeah, no. I mean, I'm just happy that there's like an emo scene in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like that was something I felt like I had to actively like encourage and like push people together for a while. So like the fact that like it just feels so naturally begetting beyond me, you know, because we also there's this really cool band Dogfight.
Dogfight. Okay.
Dogfight
Yes.
rules. I know Adjust the Sales moved here from Maryland.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Shane lives there
Shane
now.
does
Yeah.
live there now.
But of course we also have Clavicle here. Local faves forever and ever. Bummer they are too busy to be touring folk. Also Equal Creatures, who have been on Fochella before.
Mhm.
Also an amazing emo band from Atlanta. Atlanta's always got something going on.
Yeah.
Atlanta, it very organically houses a lot of cultures at once.
Yeah.
You know, like film is here, but also we're the hip hop capital of the world.
Yeah.
I always heard, and this is going to be like the most out of touch, straight fucking guy question. I've always heard that Atlanta is like a gay capital in America as well, too.
Among
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that
it's
was always
certainly-
like a vibrant.
Has a good
commu-
culture
like,
there?
It's
a rich history.
Okay.
I'll say that, a rich history. RuPaul being out of here,
That
a rich
yeah,
history.
helps a lot. Yeah.
There and fortunately a mostly documented history. I actually was recently present for so I, with one of my partners, went to the Colonnade, which is a historic restaurant in Atlanta, which is known for serving 2 groups, the Greys and the Gays. And it was right next to a hotel that used to be a common cruising location in like the 70s.
Oh, wow.
And one day I went to the Colonnade as they were tearing it down, as they were
Yeah.
tearing down the hotel. Colonnade's gilded. They have a Michelin star. They're going to be fun. Even if I have to do something myself for them, so help me God, the Colonnade can't go
Yeah.
anywhere. It's too good.
You're like, I will save it single-handedly.
I will
the
fight
Greys
for
and the
that
Gays,
chicken
the
fried
Greys-
steak.
the
So help
Greys
me
were the
God.
old
The Grey-
people.
That calamari.
Oh, I get it now.
Them good calamari?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're.
It's the Gays and the Greys.
That's
I get it now.
Wow, what a mess.
all the young people there are gay.
But, and then
I get it,
there's all the
sick.
gray. The whole thing.
Yeah.
I was curious. I was like, Graves, what is that?
Yeah, right. I
The
was like,
Greys
oh,
and the
like,
Is it
Gays.
really,
Grey,
is
like
it
they're
really that
boring,
on the
normal. I'm
nose?
like, nah, the
Okay,
olds.
yeah.
No, olds.
The olds.
It's awesome.
Magical.
It's a really magical place. So yeah, being from Atlanta, somewhere with a rich queer history. Also, when I was in high school, I found out that Atlanta had its own Riot Girl chapter. Atlanta had its own Riot Girl chapter. There was a band from here called Pagan Holiday.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Interesting.
And I got to book a Pagan Holiday reunion while I was in high school, and that was very emboldening
That
for
is
me.
really, yeah.
Punk's always going to be the story that happens when you decide to show up, and the story that you can pass on to whoever else is showing up to listen. I don't know. It's always just story time,
Yeah.
right?
It's beautiful stories.
I'm such a Elliot. I'm speechless. It's very rare. I'm such a fan of every wildly insightful and hilarious. And you made me fucking cry when you told me the story about your mom.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story.
Yeah, it was like the record thing. I was like, fuck.
Yeah. This
Before
shit
we
matters.
It does, because
No,
there's
it
not a lot
does,
of parents
and,
who are
yeah.
like that, and I think a lot of kids, a lot of young people need to hear that.
I have
That
two
exists.
important questions before we let you go. One, a dear friend of mine who is a massive fan of yours as well. Young trans dude has this favorite Michael Cera Palin shirt that that he left at his dad's and doesn't feel comfortable, going back. And I specifically was like, I'll
me that
ask and see if
contact.
we get a print. Like, I'm a put you.
Okay,
Like, can you
is that
find
a
one of
short
these?
sleeve or a long sleeve?
It's the short sleeve. I cropped it so I'm not just showing full Hunter on the feed, but like.
Oh, shut
Facts.
up, Hunter.
I have a box over in this corner if you want me to check for a sec.
Go for
Let's
it.
see.
Go for it. We
I
got,
have-
yeah, let's see. Go for it.
So there is a tote bag of random size stragglers in the van, and then I have a couple old ones that I was saving,
Mhm.
but if this is a situation, that's absolutely worth giving away, because also we still have the design.
Oh,
So it's archived enough for our purposes.
that's beautiful.
Didn't expect that. Magical.
Yeah.
I
Hunter.
have it as a long sleeve. Do I have it as a short sleeve?
The anticipation's kind of killing me right now. I want to know.
This is like some Oprah Winfrey shit. we're doing
Yeah.
right here. We're like making this
You get a
magical.
car.
Right? Yeah.
So I am finding it in a long sleeve. I am not seeing it as a short sleeve. But I will check that bag in my van. No matter what, I'm gonna get something over to him.
Oh, beautiful.
Magical. Yeah.
This is a large, so
I figured you'd resonate as you're telling me. I'm like, I think you'll
Appreciate
you'll
that, Hunter,
appreciate
yeah.
this. That's awesome. I appreciate you. And my last question, obviously, named after Michael Cera, Michael Palin, Cera Palin, fuck, marry, kill, Michael Cera, Michael Palin, Cera Palin.
no one's ever done the fuck, marry, kill.
I was like, there's got to be a unique way to approach the name. I assume it's been beat to death in interviews.
It
Yeah,
has
there we
been
go.
probably beat to death in interviews.
Yeah.
Asking about the origin of the name, yes, but this one's new. Okay,
There we go.
all right. God, well, okay, kill Cera Palin.
Yeah. Thank
Kill
you.
Cera
All right,
Palin.
that's easy enough.
That's the easiest.
That is the easiest.
This is but like,
Yeah, it really depends
who do
what
I
era
marry,
of comedy you prefer.
right?
Yeah.
Because like
Who you
Michael
could put up
Palin's,
with.
I know there's security there because of Monty Python royalties.
True.
Which, by the way, he knows about us. His niece is a
Oh, it's
fan.
beautiful.
She saw us in London and she asked if I knew who
What?
he was, and I said my dad raised me on Monty
Yes,
Python, and I had to
same.
call my dad.
Do you know who this is? Like, if you
You didn't have.
look at the fucking marquee.
She's like, I told him. He chuckled,
Oh,
and I was like, I made him chuckle. The night who said
the
me.
night is that. But Michael Cera is adorable.
A bit. I mean, they're both a bit twinkish for my
They're
taste.
both-
I'll say marry Michael Cera. I feel like we'll have more like
Ugh.
agreements for like movies to put on,
Yeah,
music
good
to
point.
put on.
Good call.
I
I
feel
think
like
your
there'll be a
music,
bit
yeah.
more common ground than with Michael Palin
Yeah.
as far as like day-to-day cohabitation
Yeah.
goes. And yeah, Michael Palin, come and get it.
Come get it, man. You're like,
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. I'll show you a good time. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's always June around here.
Mwah.